What's up, duelists? Yesterday, Konami announced an emergency ban list effective December 1st, 2022. Now, Konami is no stranger to emergency ban lists, but something's a little bit off. Go ahead and put on your tinfoil hats, smash like and subscribe, and we're gonna get into some deep stuff here, some deep conspiracy theory stuff here. Okay, first things first, we gotta talk about the list. The biggest change on the list, of course, is that Mystic Mine is banned. For those of you guys who don't know what Mystic Mine does, it basically says if your opponent has more monsters than you in play, they cannot activate a monster effect or declare an attack. This is an absolutely devastating floodgate against the majority of decks in the game because you usually can't win the game without summoning monsters. In the past, Konami has emergency ban cards like Cyberstein and, of course, semi-limited Allure of Darkness on a random emergency ban list for power creep reasons, for affordability reasons, for balance reasons. But this is the first emergency ban list in 14 years, and the timing of it is kind of odd. I can't deny that Mystic Mine, of course, had a fantastic first half of the year. Not only did it occupy three copies in three of the top four decks at YCS Hartford 6 months ago, but it also had a dedicated list take first place at YCS Rio. This is a Mystic Mine burn deck. Basically what it aims to do is activate Mystic Mine and stick it in play while it burns you to death. But there has been a ban list since then, and Konami didn't really ban Mystic Mine on that ban list. Why? Everybody was asking for Mystic Mine to be banned. Everybody was asking for just some sort of attention to the fact that this card is annoying for coverage, it's annoying for gameplay, it is not a fun card to play against, and it's also been already, I think, on the ban list in OCG format as well. I could be wrong. Leave a comment below if I'm incorrect there. And I've got a few theories. So in order to explain my theories, I've got to explain a few concepts. Most of you guys have probably heard of Black Friday shopping. If you haven't, you're probably not from the United States. Black Friday is basically a big nationwide sale on goods. Black Friday happens the weekend after Thanksgiving, or American Thanksgiving, I should say, which is this upcoming weekend. Now, there was a Black Friday report last year published on TCG Player, which is one of the biggest sites for the sales of Yu-Gi-Oh cards and Pokemon cards and Magic the Gathering cards. And the reason I'm mentioning those three games is because those are the top three sold competitive card games on the website. Additionally, in this article, it shows the sales growth during Black Friday 2021 as opposed to something related to the sales growth. You see bigger number, it's better for the game. And Pokemon, out of the three, exhibited the most sales growth on Black Friday in 2021. If we look at these card games competitively in the state that they're in after a year, Magic the Gathering has suffered like 17 different PR nightmares and honestly is fallen from the limelight as a premier competitive trading card game in my personal opinion. I don't think Magic the Gathering will ever see sort of the rise to success that it has seen in the past ever again, simply because of the mismanagement of the game and the general sort of bad taste left in the player's mouth because of these PR nightmares. If you want to look more into them, I'm sure you can Google either at Magic 30 or you can Google the $1,000 proxies or any of the other stuff that's happened this year with regards to Magic the Gathering. Ultimately, what it comes down to is that there's two major contenders for the top competitive trading card game right now in the United States. If you're probably working at Konami, this is in my, again, conspiracy theory tinfoil hat moment, and Black Friday's coming up, and these sales metrics are published, this picture's probably on your desk, right here. This little screenshot saying, we gotta do something about this. Let's take a look at the last few weeks that Pokemon has had. Well, first off, Pokemon recently released two brand new video games, Pokemon Scarlet and Pokemon Violet, which are massive successes. They are clogging up worldwide trending on YouTube. You see a ton of videos related to them and whatnot. Everybody's talking about it. On top of that, Pokemon just released Sword and Shield Silver Tempest, the latest TCG set, which has fan favorite Lugia in it, and it's an amazing looking card, and it's actually playable, and the metagame's fantastic, and you get to play creative decks with like a million different attackers and crazy different energy types, and everything's going great for Pokemon right now. Yu-Gi-Oh, on the other hand, let's be real, we're in iteration number 500,000, anime generic waifu with convoluted effect, tier 0, unfun to play against, that sort of thing. In this metagame that we have right now, Mystic Mine is good, don't get me wrong, but it's nowhere near as dominant as it was at the beginning of this year. It's nowhere near as oppressive as it was at the beginning of this year. Really, it's not even a problem in this metagame, in my opinion, of course. Tinfoil hat on, tinfoil hat still on. Everybody with me, everybody with me. Why ban the card now? Why ban the card now? Honestly, it's to get everyone talking about Yu-Gi-Oh! A week before Black Friday, which, if my theory is correct, means that this is the very first ban list, very first emergency ban list, but also very first ban list that is done for a marketing purpose and not necessarily for a gameplay purpose. This is a ton of impressions. This is a huge move from Konami. This is going to mean that at least all of their core audience is going to be thinking about the game in the coming week. Is this a successful choice? Yeah, honestly, Konami's going to probably see some short-term benefits here from having this sort of PR stunt ban list happen a week before Black Friday. But is this ban list actually a good thing? While Konami is banning Nefarious Floodgate, Mystic Mine with one hand, it looks like they're solving the format, solving the problem that they created. Honestly, firefighter arson, we've all heard about it. We've all heard about this. Konami creates a problem, solves it, makes themselves look like the good guy. On the other hand, what they don't want you to talk about is that they are unbanning or unlimiting two very nefarious floodgates, which are honestly more impressive than Mystic Mine. Dimensional Fissure and Macrocosmos only go into one of the top decks right now, so it's a huge buff, whereas the difference between Mystic Mine is Mystic Mine can be played in any deck as an effective going second card or Floodgate. These cards are horribly uninteractive and create for miserable game experiences in which you don't get to use one of the key parts of the game, the graveyard. While Konami is putting out one fire, they are starting another fire behind your back, creating a cycle of banning a floodgate, unbanning a different floodgate, and maybe down the road trying to milk us for impressions yet again. Long term, these emergency ban lists are actually a pretty bad thing as a result of this. It decreases the trust in the whales. For those of you who don't know, whales are big spenders on the game and honestly drive the market behind the game in general and can cause them to jump ship. It is very rare that a whale will leave a game for another game once they are invested a certain amount. But if the company does enough things to break the trust of the players, break the trust of the investors, by having these emergency ban lists out of nowhere that don't necessarily affect the game and are for PR stunts, then people aren't really going to respect Konami even less than they normally do. As for myself, I'm honestly just excited that Herald of Orange Light got limited, which means that this card will be much more affordable if you're looking to build the first place list from RBET Rulers, aka the Edison World Championships, and I am going to continue to play both sides, playing both Pokemon and Yu-Gi-Oh! Pokemon on my second channel, where there will be a link in the description below. Go ahead and check that out if you're a Pokemon enjoyer. Go ahead and, like and subscribe there as well. We'll see where things go. Interesting move from Konami. I wonder if we're going to see more of it in the future. Perhaps we will. Perhaps we won't. Who knows?